Titans seem like a mess. And I think Brian Callahan is an interesting name to watch when it comes to who will the first coach fired in 2025 be. So, at practice a couple of days ago, Cam Ward, first overall pick, got into a scuffle with the Titans' best player, Jeffrey Simmons. If you did not hear about this story, Ward threw a touchdown pass to Calvin Ridley, went to celebrate, gave Simmons a shove before doing his trademark, quote, zombie land, end quote, celebration in front of him. What?
Double tap? Is that? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a movie
involved?
with Jesse Eisenberg and
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone and Woody Harrelson. Right. Yeah.
Bill Murray makes a cameo.
He does. That's true.
Actually, not a cameo. He's just in the movie.
Right. But they don't really tell you about it before. So I think that classifies as a cameo. Simmons reacted with a two-hand push to Ward's face mask. The offensive line ran to Ward's defense. A lot of talk about this at Titans camp. After practice, Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Titans, made players run. He seemed like he was pretty ticked off about it. And afterwards, everyone has been asked about this incident between Ward and Simmons. Is it a big deal? Here's what Jeffrey Simmons had to say when asked about the back and forth.
At the end of the day, quarterback, hands off the quarterback. Anybody on this team know, everybody in their locker room know, I love the hell out of my guys. In that practice, people on the outside, you guys, y'all blowing it up. Shouldn't get blowed up. The training camp, temper flares, move on. At the end of the day, can't touch the quarterback. It's the same thing. If we joint practice and somebody touch our quarterback, trust me, I'm going to be the first one in there. So I respect the hell out of our offense for having their quarterback back, having our quarterback back. But at the end of the day, it's football. We, offensive line, defensive line, trenches, it's hot. Temper flare, we all tired. At the end of the day, we family. We moved on from it. We're not going to keep talking about it each and every day. It happened yesterday. We came back to work as a team. Yesterday, we left it on the field. Came back, got the correction, moved on.
I think I am Team Jeffrey Simmons here. Because it's not like Jeffrey Simmons took Cam Ward to the ground here. But this is this gray area where it's practice, and what happens if Simmons shoves Ward a little bit too hard and Ward falls over and, I don't know, has $1 million baby moment. And just like his neck hits a bench. Boom, broken neck. Like bleep can happen. Don't touch the quarterback. There is a part of me that likes this competitiveness, though, between the two. Paul Kaharski, who covers the Tennessee Titans, asked Brian Callahan, hey, why didn't you throw anyone out? Because there was a little bit of a scuffle and people needed to be separated. Callahan was surprised Kaharski asked about throwing people out after pushing, shoving, and cursing. Previous coaches, and I think he's talking about Mike Vrabel, have thrown players out of practice in response to players crossing lines. Kaharski observation, do I feel like Brian Callahan manages Jeffrey Simmons' bad camp moments well? No. So Paul asked some questions. I think they're fair questions to ask. And I just don't really get the feel that Brian Callahan is long as head coach of the Titans. So while this Cam Ward versus Jeffrey Simmons thing might not be that big of a deal, it's just two guys being competitive with one another. It's the two hopefully best players on offense and definitely on defense going back and forth with one another. Like iron sharpens iron, competition creates the best possible team. And a lot of Titans teammates are saying that. I really wonder about Brian Callahan's grasp on all this because he was such an underwhelming hire when the Titans did bring him in. And the Titans do have a bit of a track record outside of Mike Vrabel of keeping guys around for 2 years and then moving on.
Yeah. I think to me, like the actual like Simmons Ward part, I'm with you where I actually don't think that's that big of a deal. It is more of like the story is how Callahan handles this, and especially in contrast to how Vrabel handled it, which is who we think is a way better coach, one of the best coaches in the league. At least I think Mike Vrabel's up there.
He did a great job in Tennessee.
Yeah, Brian Callahan, not up there. So
I mean, Callahan was crying towards the end of last season.
Yeah, and
about
I think
the Titans' struggles.
Yeah, there
actually
are
was
multiple ways to go about this. Like, you don't have to be exactly like Mike Vrabel, and maybe just Jeffrey Simmons two-hand push. Maybe it's not as hard, or like we don't know. We can't see the actual push.
Right, yeah.
So I think that there's a chance that he was right not to throw anyone out, that like Jeffrey Simmons didn't cross like a crazy line or anything. At the same time, I'm not blown away by how Callahan's handled this. Even if it wasn't a big deal,
yeah,
he didn't really nip it in the bud in
he didn't.
Very effective way.
I do think you throw somebody out of practice for this, and then you act like it's not a big deal.